Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to the Career Pact podcast. My name is Neil Patel. I'm the host of this podcast. And if this audio and everything around it sounds a little bit different, I apologize. I'm not in my normal space to be recording. I am at a different house. I'm at my partner's house right now, and I need to get this episode up. So please bear with me and the audio quality. However, I will do my best. I'm just using my phone and my natural voice. But today, we're talking, nonetheless, about a topic that's a little bit abstract, one that I haven't really talked about. It's kind of funny to me, and there's a lot that I can relate to with this thing that I'm talking about. That's the fears that I had as a child, okay? Very abstract, and I want to chat about a lot of the fears that I've had, because I've had dozens of them, because it's valid. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know how many fears you've had as a kid. However many you had, they're all valid. I got scared and had these phobias, and I wouldn't do certain things because I was scared. I was scared a lot. So I'll give, there's 3 big fears that I had. So I'll briefly talk about all of them. This will be a relatively quick episode. I'll give my 3 big fears, and then towards the end, I'll just kind of go rapid fire with the longer list of things that I was afraid of, give some backstory as to why I was afraid of them. I hope you guys enjoy it. The first big fear that I had as a kid was a fear of the dark. Yes, the dark. A fear that I really don't have anymore. Except when I'm in someone else's house and they have a pretty creepy basement that is unfinished, and they tell you, like, hey man, can you go downstairs and go grab something? I get a little bit of those heebie-jeebies. It's like, okay, I don't want to go down there. It's a little bit, I'll still force myself to go, but you just get the little ick feeling in your stomach. But when I was a kid, this feeling was bad. I didn't like going into rooms that were dark. I didn't like going downstairs when it was dark, let alone entering the bathroom when it was dark, knowing that I would have to, here's the worst one, that the worst one for me was in the middle of the night when I would have to wake up because I had to pee or poop. It'd be like 2-3 in the morning, and you wake up and it's just silent, nothing, and pitch black. I would have to get up, go walk to my bathroom, open up the door, sit down on the toilet, leave the door a little bit open, and then turn on the light. And the worst is when you're sitting on the toilet, the light is on in the bathroom, but you look through the crack of the door and it's just pitch black. And that pitch blackness, it always scared me because, and I'll explain why that scared me, like a little bit later on from another one of my fears that I had. But it was like, hey, what if someone's in the house? What if someone comes and attacks me? What if someone is watching me? Just those weird thoughts and weird feelings and energies that I felt during that time. It was just horrible. That's why I hated being in the dark. What else? There's another funny story with the dark. If I'm downstairs alone and when I would go upstairs to sleep, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. When you quickly turn off the lights and you start running up the stairs and get that feeling that someone is coming, chasing you down the hall, or chasing you up the steps. It's from watching all those scary movies of those tense moments, those dramatic moments where someone is walking a little bit slow. You get the creepy music coming in, and then all of a sudden someone's just running behind them. It's just this big figure or ghost or spirit, whatever. Because of all that, I was scared of the dark, guys. Don't judge me. Now, not so much. So that's the first one. I had a big fear of the dark. I hated it. And the second one that I'll talk about, which was a big fear of mine, bigger than the first one, and honestly, a fear that I still have to this day, is the fear of water. Deep water, like the ocean, any water that's past 7, 8, 9 feet deep. And it doesn't help that I can't swim. Yes, I can't swim, y'all. Yes, I cannot swim. Am I embarrassed about it? Kinda. But am I afraid of admitting it? Absolutely not. I can't swim. When I was younger, my friends and I, we would, all our moms and all my friends, my friends' moms and I, we would all wait, that sounded weird. All my friends, their moms, and me and my mom, there we go. We would all go to a pool every weekend, whether it's middle of the day Friday or on Saturdays or Sundays. We would all go there and hang out. And there's a section where it's 4 or 5 feet deep. There's 3 feet deep for the little toddlers. And then there's a section where everyone else is hanging out, the 9 feet area. I never went there because I was so scared. Every time I would look under, I was like, dude, that is way too deep. I couldn't swim. There were no life vests. And I was afraid that I would just sink and die and drown. So I hated that. And ever since then, I still haven't learned how to swim. And number 2, I just avoided oceans and deep water altogether. I never tried to conquer that fear. And I probably will soon. I don't know when. I guess I just need a little life vest and I'm good. That's a fear that I have overcome, is deep waters with a life vest. Like the first time I went snorkeling, I dang near almost drowned because, you're in the middle of the ocean. They give you a life vest, but you have to make sure you're breathing properly and no salt water is getting into your mouth. So the first time I went, it was horrible. I was like hyperventilating. It was bad. But the second time that I went, recently when I went to Cancun, it was fun. It was great. I had a good time. But it's still just, it's like, ugh. Without a life vest, I would definitely not be able to do it. And aside from having the fear of water, my biggest fear, like if you guys were to draw out a picture of the worst way to die, whatever that is for you, here's my worst way to die. Flying in a plane and crashing in the middle of the ocean. That is my biggest fear. Not even the fact that the plane flying, all the problems that it would have and it crashing. It's more so the way I would die. I would die upon impact. And even if I were to survive, I don't know how to swim. So I would just be stranded in the middle of the ocean. That is my biggest fear in my life. The way I would die. If that became a reality, that would fucking suck. I don't want to die like that. So that's my biggest fear, is being in a plane and something going wrong with a plane, crashing in the middle of the ocean and drowning to death and being eaten up by like a shark or something. And number 3, I was deathly scared of roller coasters. This all pertains again back to my friends. My friends, they loved roller coasters, and every summer we would go like 2 or 3 times, maybe 2 times every year. And we did that for like 5, 6, maybe like 6, 7 years consistently every year until we all kind of grew out of it. Wouldn't go as consistently. Now, even when we do go, it's probably like once every 3, 4 years. I can't even remember the last time I went with my friends from back home. But I was so scared of roller coasters, guys. It was bad. They literally had to, they would try to drag me onto the roller coaster, and I'd be like, nope, I'm not going. Nope, I'm not going. And for anyone in the Chicago area, Six Flags Great America, they have the Raging Bull here, Vertical Velocity, Batman, Superman, some of the best roller coasters ever. And I wouldn't go on them. So I was so scared of roller coasters. This started at like the age of 9 or 10 when we all started going. And it was horrible. It was horrible. I spent literally the entire day riding little kids' rides. I would go there for the food. I would walk around in the sun, get dark, and I hated it. While all my other friends, they would be going on these roller coasters like, Neil, come on. And I'm just like, dude, I can't. But lucky enough, eventually, I don't even remember if it was later in my high school years, early in my high school years, but they finally got me to go on it. And I loved it. And now I love roller coasters. I love them. Except the ones when we have to go upside down. I can't with those. There's this one ride at Six Flags called Mardi Gras something. And it just keeps you hanging upside down. And I hate that. It just makes me feel disgusting. Makes me feel like I'm going to throw up over everyone. Or that the latch that I'm wearing and the little, all the protection mechanisms that they have are just going to break and fail. I'm just going to fall off to my death. So that's the only time I get those feelings of potentially, dying on a roller coaster, is when I'm hanging upside down. Other than that, we're good. So those are my three biggest fears, guys, that I had as a kid is scared of roller coasters, fear of the dark, and fear of water. Water is one that I'm slowly overcoming, but that's the one that I'm still, that fear is still my biggest fear, is flying over a body of water. And when I'm flying over that body of water, something happens to the plane and the plane crash lands into the ocean and I can't swim, well, I'm done. I know there's life vests on the plane, but I don't know how reliable those are. But yeah, I think about that often. I even vowed for some time to never fly over water. I did. I vowed to never fly over water for some time. Literally 5 days ago was the first time I flew over water in God knows how many years. Like literally years. Dang near probably over a decade. Because, yeah, over 2 decades maybe. Yeah, because we flew from Fort Lauderdale to Cancun. That was, what, like a hour and a half flight? Yeah, I don't think I flew over a body of water until, like, that was 5 days ago was the first time I flew over a body of water since maybe when I went to India when I was like 3 or 4. Yeah, okay. But now on to the long list of other things that I was scared of, just not as much. Just dying in general. I knew that I wanted to live a long life, and dying to me would absolutely suck. Yes, I was aware of that at a very young age. So I had a fear of that. I didn't want to be like riding around my scooter or my bike or be in a car and someone hit us and we crash and die. I know that's out of my control, but it's still something you're cognizant of. It's a fear. It's a worry at times, even at a young age. Another thing, I had a big fear of ants. This was a horrible one because during the summer, when everything got hot, ants would just start coming around in my home, and I hated it. I know I was like, I'm freaking 1,000 times bigger than an ant, but there was something about it. They would crawl onto my arms and my legs. Sometimes there was a couple times where I like felt them go across my eye, and I like absolutely freaked out because we had them every single summer. And then once I overcame the fear, I just started like smacking them away with my finger, or sometimes I'd crush them with my feet. I do not condone the killing of ants at all. I don't know why I did that. Ants was a big, big fear. I would literally run away from them. And during the summer, we would have like not piles, but little, like corners of the house would just be filled with ants, like 10, 15 ants in one corner. And we would have to put those little medications on the ground to attract all the ants, and then we would just like kill them all at once. Another thing that I was scared of, yes, even at a young age, I would say like middle school, early years of high school, the fear of never finding a wife or a woman in my life. Luckily enough, I am blessed to have an incredible woman in my life. But when I was younger, I had the fear that I would be single the rest of my life. Yeah, as sad as that sounds, that is true. I don't know what made me think that. I didn't have no charisma. I didn't have any interesting features, anything likable, I guess, to my own standards. So that was a fear of mine. Another one was getting hurt while playing sports. I played a ton of basketball growing up and some football, but my favorite sport was basketball. So rolling my ankle, tearing my ACL or my MCL, or having a hard fall, I always played very conservative. And maybe that's probably not the best way ever to play sports, is conservative. Like you want to go all out and give it your all. But when I played basketball, after I rolled my ankle really, really bad, like 3 times, I got a grade 3 ankle sprain, which is like literally a couple ligaments away from shit breaking. After I got that injury, I played so conservative. Like I wouldn't make cuts. Like I wouldn't plant as hard on my feet to do like a backdoor cut or run off a screen full speed and spot up and shoot a 3. I would not do that because I was afraid of landing on someone's foot or getting caught under someone. Yeah, I just had a big fear of getting hurt after I had I had like 2 or 3 really, really bad ankle turns. Ever since then, it was donezo's. Okay, here's the one that I was referring to earlier, the fear I had. And it was a fear of ghosts, paranormal activity, some sort of, spirits as such. I had a fear of that because my dad and I, we would spend every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday, watching paranormal shows. So we would watch Ghost Adventures, we would watch Ghost Hunters, we would watch Paranormal Activity. I think that was a show. Finding Bigfoot. I know that's not no paranormal stuff, but it's still dark and it's investigative, and I love all that. Oh, Destination Truth. There was so many shows that we watched, not including all the videos that I watched on YouTube about haunted homes, haunted asylums, haunted abandoned places. I watched all that. I loved it so much that it kind of affected the way I saw a lot of things. So if I was in a situation where it's like dark and creepy and something looks abandoned, it's like, whoa, like what if a spirit is here? What if I see an apparition? Or what if there's noises? What if there's orbs, some sort of activity? So it was like a calculated fear, if you want to call it that, because it interested me a lot and I loved watching it, but I also didn't want it to happen to me in real life, because that's also creepy as hell. Like if I'm just standing in a corner and it's pitch black and I hear a sound or something unexplainable happens. My sister, she was a big skeptic. She's like, dude, no way. Like, that's not true. Even if she saw something on Ghost Adventures or whatever, she would completely bypass it and say, that's not real. But to me, that's so cool. I thought it was the coolest thing ever in the moment. But if that ever happened to me, it's like, nah, dude, that's creepy. So that was a fear. But to this day, I love watching all things paranormal, because I think it's interesting what happens to a body and a soul and spirits after they are dead, and how they manifest, and understanding the history behind why a spirit may act the way it's acting after its death. The next one, this is a simple one. Spiders and insects, like anything that's flying, bees, cicadas, like flies sometimes. They're just so annoying. I was afraid of that. Scared of getting kidnapped when I'm out and about. Like, what little kid, I guess, isn't scared of that happening? Maybe if they are secure with themselves, they're not. But I had that fear of being, again, out and about, riding a bike, being on a scooter, doing in a car, whatever, and someone just like kidnapping me. Dude, that's scary as hell. All right, this one I'm a little bit embarrassed of. I was scared of sleeping alone, and this, I guess, ties into my fear of the dark. Yes, I slept with my parents until the age of 12. Do not come at me. I was a single child. My parents slept in their room, and I had my own room. And mind you, this was with my grandma. She slept on the floor. That was back when my grandpa was alive. My grandma and grandpa, they would like sleep on the floor, and I would be on the bed. So it felt like I couldn't see them, right? So it felt like I was sleeping alone, and I just needed my parents all the way until the age of 12. Yes, I was scared of sleeping alone, guys. Okay, please. I had a very slight fear of heights. In Chicago, we have this tower called the Sears Tower. Yes, I'm still calling it the Sears Tower. Now it's named the Willis Tower. But anyone who's an OG still would call it the Sears Tower. Whenever we go up there, they have this like glass box, big glass window. It's kind of like a box that extends out into, how do I even describe it? It extends out. So if you look down, you could see straight down onto the ground. And it's like 110 floors up. When I looked down on that, I would get a slight fear of heights anytime we'd be high up on like a balcony or something. Very slight fear. I don't have a fear of heights anymore. You just get that little feeling in your gut of like, oh shit, if something happens, I'm dead. And the last one, another silly one, is I had a little fear of giving the wrong answer in school, because I got bullied by a bunch of kids, and if I gave a wrong answer, I didn't want to be bullied into having someone make fun of me or laugh at me or whatever. But those were kind of the long list of fears that I had in my life. And after I just read through all these, like, dang, I have a lot of fears. But good thing is, nowadays, my fears, they don't really stem from, they're not the same fears that I had as a kid. They're more fears about losing the people that I love, not really achieving my potential or striving for the thing that I actually care about, doing what I care about, keeping my word. Those are the types of fears that I have nowadays. I told you this, guys. I told you this would be abstract. Hadn't really done this before, but if you guys enjoy this, if you found this fun, a little bit valuable, got to know me a little bit better, got to know how weird I am, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you didn't, I apologize. I have another 196 episodes that you guys may be interested in and can listen to. But like I always say, guys, if you enjoyed this, share this with a friend. Follow us on all socials at The Korea Pact Podcast. And leave me a 4 or 5 star review. It would help me out a ton. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And like I always say, bro, why am I blanking right now? I literally just blanked right now. Go do something nice for someone today because they genuinely deserve it. And, bro, dude, no way. I literally just blanked. Oh my God. I'm literally forgetting. This is the first time this has happened. I'm forgetting the outro to my podcast. And like I always say, oh, there we go. Take care. Tell someone that you love them and go do something nice for someone today because they genuinely deserve it. I don't know why the hell I just blanked there. What the fluff? I need some water. All right, y'all. Peace. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.